I need this episode this week, buddy. I am feeling a little low. Yep. I'm trying to get a little high.
Yeah, the same. I'm excited to like. It's like our reprieve, like coming here to do this, talking to you people, and it's been a great week, and I'm excited to go on vacation in my mind for about an hour.
Yeah, I feel like it's important this week. We'll get this started. Are you feeling like one today, Chip?
I'm feeling more like one than ever. Let's put this on.
Oh,
boom, slather it. Get some. Just the smell of it, man.
Oh, okay. Chip, it's working.
Are you feeling it?
I really am. I really am.
You're transformed.
The video version of this podcast must be so good for folks that just love men touching their face.
The amount of eye candy could make your blood sugar go through the roof.
You tell me another piece of content where you can see more men touching their face than the first, 5 minutes of any Sunburnt podcast.
There's literally none on the internet.
Oh my God, Chip, I'm feeling so good. I'm going to throw this at you just to get us into another level of tropical kick. If we were in Waikiki right now, sitting at the beach bar at the Moana Surf Rider, what would be the perfect meal? You just got to Waikiki.
Yeah.
You set your bags wherever hotel, you walk over to the beach bar. What are you ordering that's going to put you in just that perfect state? You got the water right there splashing. The sun's coming down. People are relaxed AF. They don't have a problem in the world. That waiter comes over. What's on your order right now, bud?
It's just 2 fists of Mai Tais, baby.
2 Mai Tais? Oh, dude, come on.
That's called an hour tie is what that is.
No, it's not Mai Tai. It's our Thai.
It's our Thai.
But they're both for me.
Yeah, you got to hydrate, though. I mean, hydration is important.
It's very important.
So you get a little water. You get a Mai Tai, maybe a marg, something. You got to get something a little fruity.
Yeah.
And then, so I go light in the heat and the beach. You try to maybe a nice like fish platter, like a little fish, maybe like maybe a calamari sampler, maybe a little I don't know, maybe a little salmon with salmon with some like pineapple going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a little fruity, little rice issue, like something like that. That's what I'm going for, because I grew up an hour from the Jersey Shore, where we just go the exact opposite direction. There is nothing healthy or light. It's ice cream sandwiches, it's gigantic pizzas, it's French fries, it's ice cream. So just to be able to be in a place where you're like, okay, I'm going to be in the heat and also eat something relatively healthy. It feels pretty good. Although, by the way,
I love it.
Nothing wrong. And I've eaten a lot of that junk food on the boardwalk on the Jersey Shore. So yeah,
there's so much fresh fish there too. Like you can really, really, really have a fresh catch there if fish is what you're going for.
I don't know if you know this. I know you've been to Hawaii more times than I have. It's literally surrounded by water.
It is.
Literally.
It is, and it's it's tremendous. And I don't know, do you do poke? Do you do like raw fish at all? Are you a sushi guy?
Yeah, I haven't done poke a whole lot, but I do love me some sushi. Yeah,
okay, dude. Well, you'll love poke when we get out there. And I do know there's kind of a local. It's like Waikiki, but poke nachos, buddy. They just put the poke on some chips for you. You can scoop them up there right by the sea. It's a little salty. It's a little crunchy. It's a little raw fish.
I got to tell you this. That warms my heart, because I'm gonna break some news to the world right now. I'm not a cheese guy. I don't like cheese. So like nacho cheese, like anything you put to me is disgusting. I love mozzarella. Mozzarella, some pizza, whatever. Great.
Do you just is somebody pointing just a cannoli at you, forcing you to say you like mozzarella in South Philly?
I'm literally in a basement in South Philly. I have to say that right now. But I do love mozzarella. It's pizza I love. But any other kind of cheese I hate. So it's like nachos is like, it's the worst for me. So, but if you say like fish and like that, like okay nacho, you've just opened up a new alley in my life.
You're a big not all cheeses guy, Chip.
Yes.
Not all cheeses.
Not all cheeses. Cheeses is the reason for the season. Go ahead.
For me, I'm going. It's not even a question, and it's what I do every time. It's a Mai Tai. Give yourself a welcome drink. a Waikiki special, and I'm going burger, bud. I'm going the opposite direction. Burger, fries.
I respect it.
Sometimes they put a little pork on top of your burger.
Yeah, they
really
do.
Put that little extra decadent kick, and I'm doing that by the beach. And Chip, I am feeling better. How are you feeling?
I'm in the zone right now. I can feel those summer rays, that warm air, cool breeze coming off the ocean. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it's working. And if you want to continue feeling the vibes, stay tuned. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I was wondering, do you do dry cleaning?
Yes.
Oh, great. I'll send the cat down.
Mr. Chantry, there's no cats allowed here.
Oh, it's really more a guy in a cat suit.
Oh, send Frederick down. Chip, it's episode 17 of the Sunburnt podcast, where we talk about tropical travel, and we're in the comedy world. We're kind of putting those two things together.
It's like a fluffernutter of comedy and tropical travel. It's just like a fluffernutter. Fluffernutter was just full of like sand and shattered dreams, just all and white bread.
I want to say this is the fourth fluffernutter comment you've made on this podcast.
I have not had a fluffernutter in years. Maybe it's just fluffernutter on the mind.
It's fluffernutter on the mind. I'm wondering if it's fluffernutter on the pocketbook. Are you getting paid by Big Fluffernutter to, do a sponsorship on the Sunburnt podcast that you're not cutting me in on, Chip?
Yes, and I am. And Big Fluffernutter is actually the name of the nickname of my neighbor Steve. That's what we call him, and we're not allowed to tell you why.
Well, that's disturbing, Chip. Chip, we're sitting at 167 days until Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise.
The countdown continues.
Hawaii is happening all day, every day. It's a real place. It exists. But we won't be there for 167 days. And I am getting freaking pumped.
I can't wait. It's becoming more real. And now that it's summertime in Philadelphia, like I'm feeling summer vibes.
Yeah.
And, I got to tell you this. So you are the Hawaiian shirt guy. You declared yourself a Hawaiian shirt guy a couple episodes ago. Yeah.
Yep.
A Hawaiian shirtman and first rank. And I am starting to embrace it, I guess. Like I've gotten a couple and I'm wearing them for the podcast, and I can't wait to wear them in Hawaii. The other night, I decided, I think I've told you the thing where my wife and I, we might have like a little beverage in a solo cup when we walk down to the diner in South Philly. I mean, that's how classy we are. Beautiful night. And I was like, you know what? I usually just wear, shorts and a t-shirt. And I was like, I am going to throw on this exact shirt, my red Hawaiian shirt, like shorts and that red Hawaiian shirt. Why not? I'm just going to, because I'm drinking a drink. It feels a little tropical. And let's do this. Thomas, on my way back from the diner, we are petting Georgie, who is this little French bulldog, 2 blocks down from us. This lady, she sits with Georgie. Georgie's like the sweetest dog, and we're petting Georgie, and she's like, and the lady's like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt. It's like so much fun." I was like, "Oh, thank you." I figured, it's that time of year, like whatever. She's like, it looks great. Like, why don't more people wear something like that?" I was like, "Yeah, right." And I was like, a Hawaiian shirt. It's just a fun vibe. So it was nice to get that compliment from her.
Yeah.
On my first ride with it, my first spin. I literally take, because it's kind of a cramped little sidewalk, I take like 3 steps forward to let my wife pet the dog then, because she has to get in there, get Georgie.
Yeah. She gets a turn.
Not even 30 seconds after this lady compliments my shirt, a guy in a pickup truck pulls up, and it's a traffic light there. He's stopped at the traffic light. He's got his window open. He looks at me and just goes, "Yo, that's a great shirt, man. That is a great shirt." I was like, "Thanks, buddy." And like, this is Philadelphia. You can tell when somebody's being facetious or mean or sarcastic. And this dude was just into the shirt. So within 30 seconds on my first night out with the Hawaiian shirt, I got compliments, and I am a Hawaiian shirt guy now. I'm going to be wearing it out a lot more this summer.
Dude, it doesn't have to be every time, but when it hits good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things, you throw it on, and I mean, like, you don't get that level of comments even if you're wearing the most stylish outfit on the planet.
No.
People don't talk about men's clothes to them. They just don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you throw on that shirt, you're making a decision not to just like put yourself in a little bit better mode, but it's like something that's touching the people around you, bud. You were lifting their spirits as well. It's like almost a little visual gift you're giving them too.
I never realized it. Like, it just didn't dawn on me, like, how you're giving back if you're wearing a shirt. And I think it's also disarming, too. Like, especially somewhere in Philly, like, people are always a little on edge. You're a little, like, worried, like, who's this guy? What's going on? And you see a guy in a tropical shirt, and you're just like, at the very least, he probably has a couple cocktails in him, so he's probably not that dangerous.
Yeah, you can probably subdue him.
You could bring him down. And so I think it makes you a little more, it's like, this is more annoying, but it's like the guy who wears a tutu while running a marathon. Like that guy.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
suit, man.
But it's less performative, though. Less performative. Yeah. It's just like, hey, I'm just this guy. I'm doing this thing.
Yeah, no, my wife is firmly in she's like, you should make business cards that has like a QR code. And every time somebody comes up and says something nice about your shirt, because it's like, I mean, in my case, it's never women. It's like dudes that are kind of like, wish I was wearing that shirt.
Yep.
She was like, whenever anybody comes up, they're one. They're burnt ones. You should just give them a little business card that lets them know what you're about, shows them to the podcast, shows them Chip Chantry's Thanksgiving in Paradise, because those are the people that need this message. It's tough to reach them, Chip.
It really is. And I think it's a code. And like, I feel like and by the way, it's like once you are aware of something, you see it all the time. So now I'm seeing people, mostly guys, but people with Hawaiian shirts like out in the wild now. And it's a lot more fun to notice that. And there's a little bit of a bond, a little bit of a kinship. So I highly recommend, if you're out there and you're like, I'm looking for something to wear this summer, just not something, but maybe you're like, man, the Hawaiian shirt thing's not for me. It's a little too loud. It's a little too boisterous. Maybe that's not, I feel like it's a good feeling. You get in there, you slip in. And I think you get a little bit of, I don't want to say respect from people. It's not exactly respect. It's not reverence. It's just positive. I think it's just positive vibes. And I hate to sound like that guy, but I think it literally is just some nice positive vibes coming out where you're just like, you're giving it off. It's a positive thing. And then people are going to give it back to you.
Yeah. And it's a narrow lane too. You're not opening yourselves up to like every line of weirdo that wants to talk to you or whatever. It has, in my experience, like I'm not 24/7. Like sometimes I just want to be incognito.
Of course.
But when people do come talk to me about a Hawaiian I'm wearing out and about, it's always the most delightful people in my experience. Yep. I'm sure that's not the case every time, but it's welcomed some positive interactions. Which like as a dude walking around on the street, there's just so few times that like somebody happily, a stranger wants to exchange anything with me, Of
course. Right.
So this is just opening up for a little positive contact. If you're looking for a little positive contact, throw on a Hawaiian shirt. Brought to you by Big Hawaiian Shirt. We're also brought to you by Fluffer Nutter. This is a very promotion-heavy episode.
It really is. And here it comes. Let's throw to commercial.
All right.
So, wait, we don't have commercials yet.
No commercials.
Thomas, I'm sorry. There's no commercial. I thought I seamlessly through to a commercial, and we just don't have them right now.
If you want to go record a Fluffer Nutter commercial.
You like peanut butter? You like fluff? Smash them together with Fluffer Nutter. It's okay. Let me ask you this. I need you to give me your ingredients for a Fluffer Nutter right now.
Okay.
So how do you make a Fluffer Nutter, Thomas?
So I will tell you right now. I have no idea what it is. It's something you've brought up many times.
Oh, okay. So this is an East Coast thing, maybe. So you don't know what a
you can order it at this restaurant I really like. It's like one of their, like they have a take on it for a dessert option.
Okay,
and I believe it's kind of like a sandwich. This one is kind of like a donut with like stuffing inside of it.
Okay,
but I believe it's peanut butter. It sounds like some kind of marshmallow and banana. Is that kind of?
I feel like there's different takes, so I'm sure. I don't know if there's an exact definition, and let us know what your definition of a Fluffer Nutter is. Put a comment in there. Okay, so for me, it is. You're right. It's a sandwich that a child eats.
Yeah.
It's peanut butter, marshmallow fluff. Are you familiar with marshmallow fluff? Is that an East Coast thing? Or
no, that's how you make fudge. I've used marshmallow fluff.
Marshmallow fluff. Fudge. So it's basically just peanut butter marshmallow fluff sandwich. See, I grew up that sometimes there's a triple decker like a club sandwich, you'd also have jelly in there too. But some people will be like, no, jelly's overdoing it. So peanut butter jelly and fluff.
Wow.
Some people might take the fluff out. I have heard bananas too, not necessarily in the fluffer nutter lane, but like I've definitely heard of like peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Like I think that's I think that was like Elvis Presley's like favorite food was like fried peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Yeah.
But I've definitely heard of that, and I could see that coming into the fluffer nutter world. I could see that.
I mean, it's the only fluffer nutter I've ever known, Chip.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't grow up with fluffer nutters. That wasn't a thing.
Didn't grow up with fluffer nutters.
That was not an Oregon-centric.
It was not an Oregon or Southern California-centric thing that I was aware of, you know?
Okay, so you're a 7-year-old in rural Oregon or suburban Oregon. Would it be rural or suburban?
Well, we weren't a suburb of anything. It was just like it was a small town. We had a city center.
Yep.
And then, you could drive through that in about 5 minutes and you were kind of out in some, subdivisions, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Okay, so you're 7. It's the summertime. You come in for lunch. Your mom, maybe your dad, or just you whip up a lunch. What are you having?
I mean, peanut butter and jelly sandwich sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think that was heavily in the rotation because I would eat it and it was cost effective and it was easy to make. It's like hitting a lot of elements there. There was also a meat sandwich version.
Okay.
Whatever deli meat was in the fridge, a little mayo. I was not a mustard guy, so get that out of here. Very plain eater when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I would accept is top ramen.
Nothing wrong with that.
Top ramen.
I always like middle ramen, just in the sweet spot. Middle ramen, my favorite.
I'm a little fancy with my ramen, dude.
I don't need bottom ramen. That's not something that I'm gonna.
No, you're not a garbage pig.
No. By the way, speaking of summer, it is summer. It's like almost. This is like one of my favorite weeks of the year. Like school is out. Mm-hmm. It's coming out. Is it out in LA yet, or in different districts?
I think there's there's the private, there's the public. I think most of them are out, but I think maybe a couple are still going. I saw some kiddos walking to school the other day.
There is a thing in, I guess it's a thing now. I don't know. I don't know if you see this in LA, but in Philly where the kids, you might have a graduation party or whatever, and there'll be streamers or maybe balloons out. Congrats, grad or whatever. Of course, it's become an industry. And it's a little over the top. It's like and of course, it's not just graduation. So it's graduation, and then it's like 8th grade graduation, and like elementary school and kindergarten graduate, preschool grad. It's like, all right, spare me. But especially for high school graduation, where it's like, congratulations, grad. It's the streamers, the balloons in the color of the high school that they went to. Of course. But then they'll literally have like signs and banners with a picture of the kid with their name on it. So like, congratulations, Thomas O'Brien, with like your graduation photo there too. Yeah. It looks like you're running for comptroller of commencements. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's, hey, and good for them, I guess. Good for them. Yeah. But like, they really do it up, and it's like plaster the picture, but like somebody's making a lot of money off of that. Like, that wasn't a thing that I ever remember happening, but somebody's like, I can make millions of dollars off this, because if one kid has to have it, the other kid has to have it, so it's like, you gotta have the picture, you gotta have the whole thing. Yeah.
I was looking at a place with a realtor, and he said that parents pay. That was like his phrase. He was like, because it was a good school district area. He's like, parents pay. And if you insinuate that your child might be lesser than if you don't pay whatever this fee is to have this thing done, you can sell a parent almost anything. Yeah.
I think that's why are we doing this podcast? I think we just need to target. Okay, here it is. Maybe we'll bring it in. It's like, it's graduation. The kids might go out to spring break or senior week, or at least it's the summertime, right? Yeah. We make a graduation Hawaiian shirt. Maybe it's a T-shirt with a Hawaiian pattern. Grad class of 2025. Yeah. And we push that on students and parents. This is what all the kids are having, and you give a couple free out. Maybe you get them hooked, and then they have to Yeah, I think that's what it is. You know,
I think you take it. You got to take it one step further. What I think you do is it's a beautiful pattern, but like in the there'll be a flower, and in the center where you would see the pollen, the colorful part of the flower.
Yep.
It's the grad's face.
There it is.
It's customized, and now the grad doesn't need this. There's only one graduate per family usually.
Yeah.
But the whole family needs it. So now you've sold 4, and then you make 1 for the dog. The grad feels celebrated. The parents now know there is a new bar they have to clear to do the bare minimum of parenting.
Yeah.
And it involves buying everybody a shirt with this guy. This is a business model that's out there. That's happening right now. People have figured out the parent-child dollar separation potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a hike, class ring. It's now Hawaiian shirts.
Class rings I never got either. Like that was the thing that was going on. I had a friend in college that had just a gigantic, like we were 18 years old, and he's got like a gigantic mob style like ring from his high school.
Yeah.
It's just like interesting to still want to be associated with that in this way at this point in time.
Man, if there is anything I'm proud of in this life, it's not being in my high school class. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get, hey, sure, I guess, but it's like I don't need jewelry to remember that. All I need is a nice night's sleep and just waking up at 2 a.m. at a start to remember something that happened in high school. Something embarrassing, something awful that happened in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the gaudy, bejeweled jewelry for men reminder that they went to high school at a certain place. That's pretty. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Is it Thomas?
It like I think for me, I think it would be silly, but like I like the guy who's into that too. I think that's a fun guy.
I think there's something that like should come along with it, like it's a Dakota ring or something like that, where it's just like,
oh,
hey,
I assume everybody with a class ring is trying to find some kind of national treasure that they've got an inside scoop on, you know?
Yeah, or just a QR code for some free counseling. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but they're bejeweled. They're not afraid to spend. They don't need free, just some good counseling.
They just need some good counseling and a nice Hawaiian shirt from Sunburnt Industries.
Oh man. We need to work on the industries part. What's the industries of Sunburnt? I like it. I like where your head's at, Chip.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going. But it is my favorite time of year because it's like summertime. It's like summertime. Like it's just, man, like summer break. Like I was a teacher for 15 years. So like I had.
Yeah. Oh, that's why it's so hard coded into you. I was like, how does he even know that school's out?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because the loud children are around my neighborhood again, so it's like, so you know, but it's also like I had 13 years of schooling, you know, kindergarten through 12th grade, and then 4 more, so that's 17 years with college with summer breaks, and then another. So what did I say? 13 plus that's 17 plus another 15 where I was teaching. So that's 32 years of my life where I worked in the summer break. Cycle. So mindset. It's like I still get like this is it was only the last year or two where it was like, oh, I can be in September without just shuddering. Just with that shivers up my spine like, Labor Day, and just getting a pit in my stomach. Yeah. But it's so I still do love the summertime, even though it's just becoming a hellscape of just humidity. But I do. Did you go to summer camp when you were a kid? Was that a thing?
I did.
Yeah.
Not like more sports camps or day camps when I was real little.
You're a sports camp guy, yeah. I could see you doing like a wrestling camp or like a football camp, maybe.
Basketball camp, and then football. You didn't need a camp because they made you play all summer
long.
Yeah. you'd get real in there if you were playing football.
Yeah, I went to summer camp one time. I was in 2nd grade. I was young.
Wow.
I was a nervous little kid, got a little homesick, didn't like it. Wasn't my favorite thing. It rained most of the time, like, and you're just like, so it's just like you're just up in the Pennsylvania woods in the mountains, and it was cool. Like looking back, I was like, whatever, but I was just like, I just want to get out of here, and didn't love it. But you get these again. Speaking of like the class ring or the memorabilia, they took camp photos. So they took photos of like our whole like. it was like the couple of the boys and girls cabins together where they took like all the second graders or whatever, so it was like class photo or whatever. My parents had to pay like probably back in the 80s $10 for it or something like that, and of course they bought it. And I still remember I still remember kind of being embarrassed because I was like kind of homesick and I just wanted to leave, but like so I was embarrassed by that. And then we didn't know that they were doing these photos, so we were down at the lake swimming. Okay. So you're swimming using the buddy system. I mean, I try to use the buddy system no matter what I do, Thomas.
It's your golden rule. It
really is. Swimming, podcasting, pickleball, whatever it is. And they were like, oh, hey, okay, so like our counselor gets us from the swimming session. We're literally like in the lake. There's a little kind of like beachy area. And he's like, all right, boys, we need to run up real quickly, get changed. The photographer's here for our cabin photo. You need to go get changed as quickly as you can, and you need to be out there. You have like 5 minutes tops. And I'm 7. Like, I'm not a fast changer, And
you're not Cher.
Like, no, Cher knows those. She can
do a quick change.
She can turn back time, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Cher can turn back time. And so like we're like running. I'm like just like kind of holding my shirt, but like just running in my swim trunks up to the cabin. And we go in, and like some of the boys are like going faster than me. So I was like, I can't be late for this. And we all put jeans on. So I was like, all right, jeans.
Yeah.
But like they're like, I was running late though. So I just pulled my jeans on over top of my swim trunks. Because it was like, I got to go quickly.
Yeah, and I'm guessing these aren't dry, Chip.
These are not dry swim trunks. So it's just wet swim trunks underneath these dungarees, these Lee jeans, these Levi's or whatever they were, and it just wet my entire literal bathing suit area.
Yeah.
Wet jeans for the photo. And so then my parents bought the photo. It's not like it's digital where you're like, hey, you like this photo? It's like, no, let me change on my wet jeans as a 7-year-old. And so we got that and then got it home. And then I remember my older cousin, he was like 10 years older than I was, came over and we're just like always, busting each other's balls. And like, he's like, you wet, you pissed your pants. I'm like, I didn't piss my pants. I was wearing a bathing suit underneath. And so I took the picture and I just like ripped it up into 1,000 pieces and like put it in the trash can without my parents seeing it. So they paid for something that was just an embarrassment, and now there's no longer evidence of it.
And until they watch this podcast, because like my parents, I'm sure your parents watch every piece of content you do.
I don't think
they finally know why everybody called you Piss Chantry when they picked you up from summer camp.
Exactly. Yeah, the big P.
I had a solid pee your pants. It wasn't summer camp. It was camping. Mm-hmm. With the fam. I was I want to say I had to have been 4, probably maybe 5. Mm-hmm. But we were at a campsite.
Were you guys like a camping family? Is that something you guys did?
It was what we did. We didn't do like vacations. We would do like, we'll just get out to the woods for a 3-day weekend. We had like a little Volkswagen bus with like a pop top.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we were set up. We were good to go. I was very embarrassed to be seen in it, but we had it. This actually predates the bus days, though. This was a young family still living in Santa Barbara, and we went camping. And when my parents were busy, just got out into the woods, dude. Just made a break for it.
Went for it.
Got out of it was a campsite. It was a campground. I kind of knew my way around. But, boy, did I just take a whiz in my jeans. And
literally surrounded by woods, the only place where you could just pee wherever you want.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know. So, like, I think I was actually looking for a bathroom, but I was like, I knew I had left. I knew I was doing something I shouldn't be doing. And I didn't want any adults to see me, and there was adults over there. So what I did was I pissed my pants very close to the public restroom at the campground. And then my pants were full of piss, so I didn't want anybody to see me. And so I hid further and further. I just kept hiding and hiding. Every time an adult got near me that wasn't my parents, I went further and further. So now my parents are freaking out. Yeah. Not only like did they have no idea where I am, but I am embarrassed that I had wet myself. So I am hiding even more strongly than I usually would be. I'm just trying to evade. And I remember it being like a whole day I was out there. It was probably 20 minutes.
Of course.
But like by the time my mom finally found me, she's like, "What are you doing? What happened? Like what was going on?" And then I had just like clearly peed myself. Mm-hmm. Then I had to explain that I got embarrassed. So instead of come back to I couldn't find my way back to the campsite without anybody seeing me.
Yeah.
So I went further and further. And then when my parents finally, it was my mom, I could see her. I instead of yelling, "Hey, Mom, I'm over here," I made bird noises for like 10 minutes. I was just like, tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Just hoping she'd be like, that's how little T-Bone makes bird noises. That's my little Tommy Buns over there.
Did she recognize that it was you? Did she hear you?
No. I think eventually, like, I would just like, "Mom, I'm over here."
Mom, tweet. Mom. Mom, tweet.
Quack.
Quack. Yeah. Cacao. And then you just, I'm assuming there was a change of clothes, but like you're out in the woods.
There was a change of clothes, and actually, like, I never thought about it before, and that's when my mom said, "You've been such a bad boy. I'm never gonna make a fluffernutter for you."
See, that's why you didn't have that opportunity.
That's why I didn't have it. It wasn't an East Coast West Coast thing. This wasn't Biggie and Tupac. This was little Tommy boy went number one in his dungarees.
Is what I like to call a little O'Brien discipline.
Yeah, it's mainly based on withholding.
Right. Yeah. No, that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess that's all discipline.
Sure, just denial. It's called it's negative reinforcement is what it is. Negative. Yeah, negative reinforcement. I guess. Yeah, that's. So you learn. Don't go off in the woods and pee yourself. You know,
It's true.
Do one or the other. Like,
yeah.
Just pick a lane, Thomas. Pick a lane.
Yeah, and don't put dry clothes on over wet clothes. I think there's. So
you guys are learning stuff today. The listeners, the viewers are learning. And I think that's what we bring. We bring comedy, we bring tropical vibes, and we bring life-saving information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the 5 and 7-year-olds out there listening, we've really paved a path to liquid success.
By the way, this episode you talked about being a 4 or 5-year-old peeing yourself in the woods, and then last episode you talked about being an adult staring at a friend of yours while you were inebriated peeing in the woods. So yeah. So a lot of moments coming full circle for you, Tommy.
Yeah, apparently it's a through line in what I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah. It's all right. That's all right. By the way, okay, one other embarrassing story that turned amazing. This one actually has I don't want to say happy ending. It has a rough ending, but happy for me or funny for me. We were down in Wildwood, New Jersey, which is the Jersey Shore. Yeah. It's rough. You know, it's whatever. And we were down there one summer for a couple days it was like one of my favorite because I was probably like 6 or 7, and our neighbors went with us, like this family down the street who's like they had a son and a daughter. They were a little bit older than my brother and I like I was like really close friends with the son, and like their parents were close to my parents. So it was like a double family trip. It was like the best. And we were like out on the beach, you know, did our thing, had a house down there for a couple days. Man. It's the best. And then you have the boardwalk. So there's like, you know, it's basically like a carnival at the boardwalk. And there was this haunted house that we really wanted to go in that I think years later actually burnt to the ground, I believe. And but there was this big haunted house. It was like scary. It was like this like castle, and it had like Dracula, I think, and like Frankenstein and like the Wolfman or something like that. Their heads on the front. It was gigantic. It was very scary. And it's like these live actors were in there, and it was like this is not like fun little like haunted house like ooh something, you know, like a little ghost pops out. It's like these are like teenagers from New Jersey high schools who are dressed like wolf people, like coming out and attacking you. Like this is no holds barred. So we thought it was this fun little thing. Again, I was 6. My brother was probably like 3. The other kid was probably like 8 or 9, and his sister was like 10. And so the two dads one night decided they're going to take the 4 kids through the haunted house.
Like, I love this.
Let's let the mom, because the moms they're taking care of everything, but the dads, they're like, all right, we're going to do this. And I still just remember there was just like, we had like a tour guide, I think it was like a woman who walked you through and then like whatever's happening. And I still just remember like she brings us up to this casket and like Dracula pops out of the casket, like a real Dracula. Like, no, this is not animatronic. This is a man.
A man who wants to suck your blood.
Or blood. And the girl, the 11 or 12-year-old, screamed. My little brother jumped into the other dad's like hands, like just got so scared. I'm just like totally like no flight, no fight, just literally just standing there. Luckily I didn't wet my pants, but I'm just like frozen. It's so scared. But the girl screams and her retainer pops out of her mouth. So now we're all scared. Plus we have to find a retainer on the dirty, dark floor of a Wildwood, New Jersey haunted house. So, and people are just screaming and running around, and they're just like, look for the retainer. And like I think we found the retainer. And then finally we get to another room. There's literally like a fire exit, which is pretty ironic after how most of these haunted house things go. And the dads were like, that's it. We made it through like maybe 30% of this thing. And like, we're going, and we just went out the emergency exit. And like, even like our tour guide or whatever, like the lady, she's like, yeah, just get out of it. You need to leave right now. And we left. So we were so traumatized. We were so scared. Again, I was like 6. But then, you know how like trauma just turns into like you have to face your fear to get back to it. So we get back home that, a couple days later, we're back in the neighborhood. And so then in our heads, we have to be tough about it. We're like, no, we went through this haunted house and it was awesome and scary. And we like, we're tough because I'm 6 and he's 9 and my brother, whatever. So we decide that we're going to make our own haunted house. And in our backyard, it was in our family's backyard, but like those 2 kids and me and my brother, and there was like 1 or 2 other kids in the neighborhood, and even the parents, to their credit, the parents helped out, and like we set up like a thing, and we were going to walk other neighborhood kids through the backyard at night, and there was going to be things where like somebody pops out of a bush, somebody jumps out from the jungle gym or whatever. We had costumes, we're going to do this up, right? This was just like
putting on a show.
Such a fun neighborhood thing. We like really did it up. We worked for days on it. And so the night comes and we got a bunch of the other neighborhood kids lined up ready because you had to walk through them like 2 at a time. They had to wait at the front of the house and we walked them through the backyard and and the other dad, he's a little bit of a big guy. I just remember he's a little bit bigger. He moves in the skinniest guy in the world, but he ain't nothing crazy. But he had this big beard and he wore in the summertime like boots, like Timberland boots.
Yep.
A white tank top, like wife beater.
Hell yeah.
And short cut off jeans.
Nice. Because this is a look.
This is the 80s. This is a manly look in the 1980s. Like cut off jean short, like short jean shorts. The thing probably had a beer in his hand. Like that's like the type of situation. Maybe a cig in the other.
Yeah.
And he was the first stop of the haunted house tour, right? And he climbed up, he like shimmied up this tree trunk, and he's like, I'll wait at like the first V, like in the first branch, and you bring them under the tree and tell them that like, oh, this tree is haunted, it talks, maybe like Wizard of Oz type thing, and then he's gonna jump out of the tree and be like, and scare everybody, right? First big scare, right? So we're so excited, we bring these kids through. And we're just like, and this tree is scary. He jumps. Again, I don't know. He probably had maybe a handful of beers. I'm not sure. He jumps, but like slips. And I just remember the bark it was very rough bark. And he just slides down. Instead of jumping like 8 feet down, he just slides down the trunk of the tree and just rips up. Slices to pieces, just mangles the back of his thighs.
Oh, no.
And just drops to the ground like a ton of bricks and just starts screaming. Just, ah, ah. And all the kids are like, ah. They're like, is this part of it? We're like, we don't think so. and he's just writhing in pain. And then my dad's like, "All right, haunted house is over," and we sent all the other kids home. And this guy is just, and for like the rest of the summer, he was just tending to his just shredded back of his thighs he just limped around the rest of the summer.
There are some things scarier than goblins and ghouls, and it's heading into short season in 1989 with just more splinters than you can shake a stick at, Chip.
And did those sticks get shaken?
I don't know. Can you imagine? Like, we're probably roughly that guy's age now.
Yeah.
At this point in your life, having a couple too many cocktails, peacocking, saying, I'm going to save the haunted house. I'm going to do this big gesture, and then hurting yourself
just
so sillily in front of so many people. That is...
Yeah,
dude, it sounds like that guy needs a vacation, Chip.
Big time vacation. Yeah. And the worst part is he just came back from vacation because it was literally like 3 days after we got back from the first haunted house experience at the New Jersey boardwalk.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
But no retainers were lost on the second installment.
No, just the lawyer's retainer. That's all it was. Yeah. How do you sue for that? I mean, that would be a great, like, because it's my parents' property. Like, what if he just decided, like, look, I was doing a good thing. I was being a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
I was helping out the children making a haunted house. And yes, I was wearing short shorts and I jumped out and my Timberland slipped and I scraped the back of my thighs. Here are photos of it. Here is exhibits A through F. Please look at the back of my manly thighs that are all ripped to shreds.
That's tough stuff.
Yeah, he was. By the way, I'm putting that voice in. He was a great guy and was like I think felt bad, but like was being very helpful and just had a little whoopsie and he crashed to the ground and it was a good time. It was fun summertime vibes.
Dude, you just reminded me. I have a quick summertime hit.
Yeah.
And we can put this in Thomas O'Brien's Unexplained Files.
I love it. New segment.
Yep. It was 4th of July weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I was either, between 14 and 16.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
So let's say 15. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say 15.
Yep.
Law of averages, let's split it right down the middle.
Right.
My family goes camping at Port Orford every year for a couple of years. It's like this very Oregon coastal place.
Okay.
It's got like this small little town, and they do it up for the 4th of July. The whole town has a parade. Then there's this little melodrama at this little theater. And
I feel like there's like a restaurant on the coast that's closed down now, but then there's a tunnel that goes underneath it.
Not far away from where something like that would have happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not far away from where something like that would have happened.
Okay, good.
But we're just out there camping at this beautiful campground, and it's up on these cliffs, right?
Beautiful.
And it's one of the windiest places in North America, I think. But up on these cliffs, you can look down at the water if you get over there, and it's just this gorgeous campground.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are sleeping in the Volkswagen bus we talked about.
Of course.
Me and my little brother have set up a tent in the tent area.
Pitching tents.
And it's the nighttime, but everybody's fast asleep. I wake up in the middle of the night.
And by the way, are there like other families around, or is it just you guys?
I would say there's probably other families around, but not close enough where I can hear or see any of them at the moment. It's the middle of the night. Yeah. And there is some light coming through. I don't know if it's from moonlight or whatever, but the outside of the tent illuminated a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I joke you not, Chip, I see a hand, the shadow of a hand, show up on the wall of my tent right by the door. And it does this.
No.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's the scary. He just, for those listeners, he has that. He turns the hand around and just starts beckoning you with the index finger. That's creepy.
So I freak out, literally jump underneath my sleeping bag, go back to sleep. Bad dream, right? Like just woke up. I was in the tent. It was it wasn't like this is a different tent. Like when you have a dream where it's like I knew it was my house, but it's not my house.
Right.
This was the exact tent. My little brother was sleeping next to me in his sleeping bag. But I shook it off and went to sleep really easy.
Yeah.
The next morning, I wake up. My mother is kind of cooking breakfast in the camper. Mm-hmm. My dad's chopping some wood. She hands me some oatmeal. I'm eating it in the camper with my mom.
Yep.
And my dad yells, "Rob, come here." My name's Robin. Rob, come here.
Yeah.
The way he explained it, he got dizzy while he was chopping wood.
Yeah.
And to the bone and maybe a little bit through, chopped off this finger.
No.
It was like just hanging there.
Oh my God.
So that's one for the Thomas O'Brien's Unexplained Files.
So you have no idea whose hand that was?
I don't think it. I mean, I have no idea. Like the way it worked. I mean, probably a dream.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird because the very finger
that your dad. Oh, that is creepy. So wait, did you guys have to leave then? And he did go to the hospital?
Yeah. He needed to get some help. He needed to get some help, and we did. And that was the last year we went to Port Orford. Like, I was too weirded out by the whole thing, and like, you know, as a younger kid, I was doing all the math. I'm like, if it was a person, and they were far away, a shadow of a hand would be huge, right?
Yes,
like just the way it works. So this hand would have had to have been close. If it was close, there would have been an arm attached to it, but no, it was just this.
Just the hand. He's just. You could have warned your father that he was going to chop his finger off, but hey,
I didn't even think about it. I thought it was somebody saying like, you know, get out here. I'm gonna end you.
Yeah, I'm gonna box your ears.
Yeah, scary stuff. But maybe what it was a warning, Chip, an unexplained warning.
Wow, from the Oregon gods. Wow, that is creepy.
I do remember going back to church and getting strong opinions that like it was certainly supernatural. There's something weird going on there. And
was there a hole in the hand? That's what I want to know. In the shadow.
No. There was no stigmata.
So it wasn't that guy. All
right. I do remember somebody very, very opinionated, a woman that worked there, being like, you know. And this is where it like comes to it. There's like spirituality and there's the Bible and all the other stuff. This definitely veered away from the Bible into spirituality. But like she told me at the church that, it's known that windy areas are highly spiritual.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, you can't.
I mean, I don't believe in ghosts.
The ghosts like to hang out in the wind, Chip. It's not. It's not that wind has some attributes you could subscribe to ghosts. It's that ghosts hang out in the wind.
They just love a good cool breeze. That's all it is.
Boy, ooh, a cool breeze.
Yeah, just a zombie likes a nice gust or two. So that's creepy though.
It was very creepy. It's just the coincidence of it all, dude. It was just so bizarre. And like my dad, just like chopping wood and got dizzy and then hit that finger.
That's rough. That is weird. Yeah,
that is very bizarre.
Now, did your brother see this at all, or he was just fast asleep?
No, but likely because it probably didn't happen.
It was just a dream, of course. Yeah.
But dude, it was like one of those things. Like it stuck with you, but it was so specific. It was just that finger.
Yeah, indexy, the pointy, buddy.
The pointy, and that's a tough one to chop. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
You're just like, man. It's just like, if I'm on a cliff in Oregon and the Blair Witch shows up, I'm not going out to say hi. Not happening.
Did you ever watch Eastbound and Down?
Of course. What are you talking about? Of course.
My wife and I are watching it. She's never seen it before, and they're in Mexico, and he's looking for Eduardo Sanchez, and his sidekick guy, Steve.
Yeah, Stevie Janowski.
Steve just told him, he's like, I think I found him, and he's in Hollywood. He directed the Blair Witch Project. And Kenny's just like, yeah, I don't think he directed the Blair Witch Project, Stevie. You got the wrong guy.
That's where he was hiding. That's where he was hiding out, just doing it,
just laying low, directing some indie films.
Yeah,
staying under the radar.
By the way, Thomas, I don't know if you were looking at the same moon I was last night. Speaking of summertime, the summertime moon was out. I was walking the dog, and we also have some Canadian wildfires coming down. Some smoke.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. That's hitting you.
Yeah. So it's like it hits the back of the throat, the eyes. Sometimes it's not terrible.
It's not a gentleman.
It's not a gentleman. No, it is not, and it's not somebody beckoning me with their index finger. It is legit smoke. It's not as bad as it was a couple years ago. It was like, it was just smoky. I mean, obviously you deal with that in LA, but like it was like smoky in Philadelphia. But this is just like you get a haze sometimes, and like at night, like the moon looks hazy. But I noticed it was like huge, big full moon last night, and then I looked it up. We had the strawberry moon last night, buddy.
Ooh, I'm unfamiliar with the strawberry moon. What's that?
It's just okay. So like, I guess every month, if I understand it correctly, like every month has like a like the special of the blue moon or the harvest moon or the whatever. I think blue moon is different, but the
harvest moon I've heard. Yeah, blue moon I've heard.
Yeah, and so it's just like I think a pig moon is something. I feel like a pig moon. I feel like that's something. I don't know, but like, and I think some of it comes from like Native Americans.
That might have been something that happened during your frat days. The old pig moon.
The old pig moon happened. Yeah, but. I think it's just the full moon in June. They call it the strawberry moon, I think, just because it's like that's when strawberries are in season or whatever. And I think it was the Native Americans did that. But
I gotcha.
So but I was like, oh, the strawberry moon. It's not pink or anything like that. You would think maybe, but it's still just regular color. But apparently it was like the brightest strawberry moon we're going to see for like decades, because it was like up and so low on the horizon for a while. Because when the moon's low on the horizon, it's just your perspective
makes it look huge, right?
Just like a hand on the side of a tent. Whew. It looks gigantic.
Maybe it was a strawberry moon.
I think maybe
that's what I was
at.
dealing with.
Maybe you were looking at the strawberry moon, baby. Yeah. Whew. Maybe it was just a man mooning you. Yeah. But like, there's like other names for
the strawberry moon's just when a redhead moons you.
Oh man, they're just getting spanked when you're little. It's like Dad gave me the old strawberry moon.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
You better watch out, Thomas. If you don't come out of those woods with those pea pants, somebody's getting a strawberry moon.
But I do like the idea that the dad is knowing that the spankings he's giving him now is going to affect the mooning he's going to do later. That's funny to me. That's a two-step.
That is a two-step process.
And if you want to show your friends your tush, they're going to see the strawberry moon.
Strawberry moon. Yeah. But there's other names for it. Like I think honestly, it's, if I'm getting this right, it's like the honeymoon, which is like, and because I guess honey, I don't know, that's bees and the whatever, but like I think maybe that's where honeymoon comes from, because it's June, people get married, I think maybe, but like
honeymoon makes no sense otherwise.
No, but I think that's
I never thought about that. That's nonsense. Just putting the word honey and moon, and it's a vacation you take after you get married. That's
there
silly.
It is.
But there it is. That's the origin. I like it.
That maybe is. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. But I think you could come up with some other like appropriate, like strawberry moon's fine, but for June. Fine. Yep. For June, I think we could come up. So I came up with some other names for the June full moon. These are related to things that happen in June to pretty much everybody. Yeah. That you see in June, that happens to you in June, that happens around you in nature in June, whatever it might be, or even just in society in June. Okay, so like it's June, so it's like the graduation moon. You could call it that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the
graduating moon.
Yeah, maybe like the summer moon. Or like the solstice moon, because it's the kickoff to summer, The chafing shorts moon. We all start dealing with that this time of year,
Yeah.
Or like maybe like the finding dirty magazines in the woods moon. You know what I'm saying? Like
I like that moon. I like the moon helps you find the magazines. The light
it lights the way.
Enables the search.
That little box, that is sort of just dug there by some 15-year-olds.
Kids will never find dirty magazines in the woods again.
No.
They'd have to look up from their phone, which has way more explicit stuff.
Way more dirty magazines on their phones. Yeah. But like, could you imagine just being like driving along at night with your family and be like, "Children, look, it's the Finding Dirty Magazines in the Woods moon," and the children are like, "Ooh." Or like, what if it's like the Getting Pantsed by Keith McMurray at Zach's Wacky-Golf in front of the girl you like moon? Like that happens to everybody. Right?
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
Did Chip, I have to ask you, did that happen to you?
I'm not going to confirm nor deny. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that somebody saw a strawberry moon that day. Yeah. It didn't happen to me, but it did happen to somebody fairly close to me, which is a shame. And then finally, I think here's like something that happens to everybody this time. The dead clown floating in the above ground pool moon.
Oh, man.
Look, children, it's the dead clown floating around in the above ground pool moon. Like that happens in summer, the kickoff of summer every year.
There's one every year, Chip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are just some potential other names for the June full moon.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think those are right in the pocket, buddy.
I think so.
It would be Wacky-Golf
Yeah.
to get pants in front of the girl you like.
Very wacky. Very, very wacky. Because it's just everybody's there. It's a family place. And then I just saw this kid just get pantsed in public, and he's like 7th grader. Yeah.
That was a big move back in the day. I don't think the kids are pantsing anymore. I could be wrong.
No, I think it's rightfully so. I mean, I think
they probably shouldn't be.
One less worry that a child has to have in 2025.
Yeah. I mean, their cell phones are recording every time they've ever taken off their clothes and sending it to China, but at least they're not getting pantsed in public with the face-to-face.
Yes, when they just want to be the purple ball.
Yeah.
But we got to say this. This is breaking news. Depending on when this comes out, a couple days later. But this literally just happened right before we started the pod. We lost a good one, Tommy.
Oh yeah, you did tell me
Our
this.
summertime guy, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, the founding member of the Beach Boys, genius. I was a huge Beach Boys fan growing up. My parents, my family would go see the Beach Boys all the time. I saw Brian Wilson, saw the Beach Boys so many times. Died at 82 years young. And I want to say this right now. I think posthumously, I think he deserves an induction into the Burnt Ones Hall of Fame. Literally one, at least one of the, it's all over the internet right now, but like one of the photos that they use, it's like the NBC News or whatever. It's like remembering Brian Wilson or whatever. He's literally wearing a Hawaiian shirt in his picture. He's a Beach Boy. He's writing songs about summertime on the beach. A couple of Beach Boy songs are on the Sunburnt 2025 playlist that I already put on. He is the man. I mean, the guy was so brilliant. He literally challenged. I mean, he didn't specifically challenge, but he motivated the Beatles to write Sgt. Pepper because like that's how good he was, and the Beatles were like, we need to be competitive with the Beach Boys. He did he did Pet Sounds, and so we have to be better. So like he was just like neck and neck with the Beach Boys. The dude was a genius, went through a lot of weird stuff, but man, like what just a burnt one. If you ever just live in that beach life, just doing it. I saw him many times in concert, and one time, this is about 20 years ago, he comes out. And he was a little, even 20 years ago, I mean, he's been through a lot, and he was a little slow and a little whatever. He kind of shuffles out. And he opened up with a couple of, do you know the Bare Naked Lady song, Brian Wilson? Lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. They started with that. So he was just like, kind of like, I'm not lying in bed anymore, which is kind of neat. But then at one point, they play God Only Knows, which is like, he wrote that song, maybe the greatest song of the last 1,000 years in the history of music. God Only Knows. Beautiful song. Grown men crying.
Oh, wow.
He finishes God Only Knows, and just he's at his keyboard, which is like, so he's got his profile to the audience, and he's playing on the keyboard and the whole band, and they finish God Only Knows. Everybody's crying. And he just turns to the audience and goes, "Isn't that a pretty song? Isn't that a pretty song?" Like, it's just this little ditty. It's like, yeah, Brian, we're aware that it's a pretty song. It's God Only Knows, like maybe the greatest song ever written. He goes, "Isn't that a pretty song?" It was just like, it was the greatest. It was like the greatest, most burnt one reaction to that. At least the one song that's on the burnt ones, which I think is on the Sunburnt playlist 2025. Check that out. Is the song Pet Sounds from that was his masterpiece, Pet Sounds. And I think it's an underrated song, the actual track called Pet Sounds. It's an instrumental, so there's no singing in it. It's this really cool, kind of beachy, I think Hawaiian kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. He apparently wrote it. Brian Wilson wrote that song for a James Bond movie. And didn't get asked to. I think the story goes, he was just like, this could be a theme to like the next James Bond movie. It's the mid-'60s James Bond movies, like very popular. And he's like, and I think he called it Run James Run or something like that. And gave it to the people. Was like, hey, do you want to use this as the theme for the next James Bond movie? And they're like, nah, we're good. So he just called it Pet Sounds and put it on the Pet Sounds thing. And it might be my favorite Beach Boys song. It sounds nothing like normal Beach Boys stuff. Great track. Check it out on the Sunburnt 2025 playlist on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your playlists. And it's a great tune.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, yeah.
I'll have to listen to it again through that lens.
Yes, but I'm calling it right now. Brian Wilson, Burnt One, Hall of Fame.
Seconded.
Yeah, there we
it
go.
Wouldn't be complete without him, and it's it's so sad that he passed, but what a body of work he's leaving behind, huh?
Man, exactly.
And just like, come on. The name of his band cuts straight to the root of the cause.
Stop it, right?
The Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Some people might call us that, Chip.
They may, and
not legally. Not legally.
I believe Mike Love would be very litigious when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But we're boys. We love the beach.
Yeah.
And as somebody who wanted to be known as that, I'm right there with him.
I'm all for it. So there you go. And speaking of body works, I think we left a pretty good body of work here today, Thomas.
It was a beautiful body of work. Chip, I would be remiss not to mention it. You're heading out to the Nebraska Comedy Festival tonight?
Speaking of the beach, I'm flying out first thing tomorrow morning to Omaha, Nebraska, flying out to the and then going from there 2 hours to Norfolk, Nebraska, which is Johnny Carson's hometown. Johnny Carson grew up in the small town in Nebraska. They have this Johnny Carson Theater. I think there's like maybe a museum or something, dedicated to him. And I'm doing the Great American Comedy Festival there this weekend. I'm really psyched. It's gonna be great. The two big headliners this weekend are Yakov Smirnoff, which just comedy legend.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to meet him. And James Austin Johnson, SNL's own James Austin Johnson. So I'm very excited to meet him and to do a couple shows with him. So it should be a lot of fun. So, hey, if you happen to be in the Norfolk, Nebraska region this weekend, come on out.
Come on out. Come see Chip Chantry. He's working on a bunch of new material. Very excited. And dude, you belong in these festivals all day long. So I'm excited for you to get out there and do that. And then, the week after that, I'm heading to the East Coast and we're going to see a little Goose.
Going to see Goose, baby. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for you to witness Goose for the first time.
I'm excited to hang, man. It's going to be great.
Our buddy Heskey's going to be there. My buddy Brian and Chris are going to be. We're going to have a good time. MSG.
It's going to be out of control. Goose is going to be there in the Big Apple, Chip.
Yeah, the largest apple I know.
One of the biggest apples you can even imagine. All right. Well, that is all very good and exciting. Break a leg. And until next time, stay burnt. Front desk.
Hi, this is Mr. Chantry in room 308. I was wondering, do you do dry cleaning?
Yes, we do.
How about wet cleaning?
Like in a washing machine?
Whatever floats your boat.
Ugh. We'll send somebody right up.